Erudia, an ancient land where gods walk among men. A living, breathing high fantasy world that we want to put into your hands. But we cannot do this alone. In order to bring you back to what tabletop is all about, combat, exploration, adventure, we need your help to bring it to life. By supporting us on Patreon, you can support this project and the cast of Moonskull, with our promise that we will answer to the only people that matter. You. Legend Seeker. Your legend starts here. Forge your path. Shape your destiny.
Hello, everybody. I'm Frost. I'm doing Frostewritten. Working on lore for Erudia. The world in the Godlands is part of it. It's the world for the Legend Seeker RPG. That's why I have a little map of the Godlands over here. Boop, boop, boop. I can't quite reach it because I'm stopped by a magical wall here. Last cage of emotion, so to speak. I put hot sauce in my coffee after I poured the coffee fresh. And sometimes I'm so eager to get to the coffee, I don't let it sit there for a minute and let the capsaicin that gets aerated from the heat get out of the way. And I puffed a bunch of it up my nose and had a huge sneezing fit right before I started. So if I look teary-eyed and all that, it's not because I have emotions. It's because I was actually in pain. But that all being said, how are you all doing? I'm working on some stuff. I was working on stuff for the Halloween one-shot, but I'm now off of that and working on, well, I shouldn't say off of it completely. I'm still working on some stuff over in a couple of programs, just letting a couple things run. Because I'm getting some AI things done. Inputting some things I wrote up and drew and on paper and stuff. Really horrible little line drawings and stuff, trying to see if I can get results. We'll see if I get anything out of them. It's weird using AI programs to make art for backgrounds and stuff. It doesn't always do what you want. Oops. Where's my thesaurus? And that's there. Why is it not in dark mode? Why did they turn that off? Oof. Ow. Anyway. Perfect timing to finish playing Marvel Rivals. Hey, there you go. He's in an invisible box, but he's talking. He's halfway to mime. Get him. Yep. Don't get him. A time is a terrible thing to waste. I kind of like both of them. No, you should use, if you're going to eat a mime, use all the parts of the mime. We don't waste mimes around here. Something like that. Why did it not do this when I move this file? Wait a second. Which version of this file does it? It's being goofy. I'm sorry, I'm reading notes to myself in a totally different file here, and I'm like, I had more notes than this. There was another section to this notes. Oh, wait, no, I put them in a different, under a different heading. That's why. All right, let's do this. Let's do that. I don't know if that's going to work. So how's everybody doing today? It's a happy, fun-filled Tuesday. We're having a slightly less than normal meeting week, so fewer meetings this week because we're on deadlines, which is great. Except I kept working through things because I didn't have as many meetings to interrupt me. I was just working, and then realized it was like 2 o'clock. I'm like, I need lunch. Oops. And I didn't have a cup of coffee until this cup of coffee here. That tells you how busy I was. All right, I gotta check this message. Okay, he's got what he needs. Ah, all that stuff. Still 2/3 of a week left. Yep, a meeting of the mimes. You. A very quiet conversation is what it is. We're gonna do that one. Yeah. All right. So, I have to ask you guys for Halloween, when you were a kid or when you're an adult or anything, what was your least favorite kind of candy? Was it candy corn? Gotta save this. Where do I save this though? I'm moving a document around here so I can actually get to it. Oops, nope, that's not the right folder. Also, in Windows, is there a way for me to set my Explorer windows to be dark mode too? Because I can do it in Word. I wasn't sure if there's a theme where I can do that for all the Windows still. There used to be. I know, like in XP, you could do all kinds of cool stuff, but I don't know if they still allow you to do that, or if they've taken all that control away from you. Where am I at here? Here's this folder. Here's that one. There we go. Save that there. And then I'll have it available here. Oh, gosh, it doesn't remember the folder. Let's put it in. Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, let's go over here. Go into this dark folder here. Put that in there. All right. No, I don't want it there. I want it for that. Let's see. Candy corn is an abomination. Caramel covered apples. Ooh. Mounds almond joys. The fact that I'm allergic to coconut may be a factor. Proud freak. I like candy corn. Oh no. Fantastic sarcastic. I like candy corn. Oh. I always felt like the odd one out for not liking Snickers. I have to say, I think for me, my least favorite would have been, weirdly enough, because I didn't mind a candy covered apple. It was hard. If you got them, they were kind of hard to eat, and I couldn't have them when I had braces. But I could deal with those because I love apples. I love apples. I didn't like popcorn balls. For whatever reason, I hated those things. And it's kind of candy, kind of not candy. But I know that if Circus were in here, he would have said getting those little boxes of raisins. Because the dentist would always hand out raisins. In any town I ever lived in, it was always the dentist would hand out raisins. Weirdly enough. I didn't that there. There we go. Popcorn balls are not candy, Crescent, so we can't do an eating Snickers upside down jokes on you. Don't know. Um okay, there we go. Did you have a favorite candy? I actually do like caramel candy apples, but I can only have them once a year. So yeah, nowadays I can't even take that much sugar. I'm like, oh, too much. I'll just eat an apple and dip it in a little caramel or something, and then I'm good. Popcorn balls stopped being a thing because of the poison razor blade panic of the 90s. Yeah, I mean, even when I was a kid still getting stuff back in the 80s, the early 80s and the late 70s, there were people who did pretty awful stuff to Halloween candy. You're a fan of Three Musketeers, personally. Oh, okay. I was only a fan of Three Musketeers at one point, and that was weirdly enough when they decided to have Fran Drescher be their spokesperson at one point, and she came out in a tiny slinky dress, and I was like, "Hey, I like Three Musketeers, and I don't know why." I knew why, but I'm fine with them. They're a candy bar. My favorite. Everyone will hate this. No, will they hate it? That orange and black wrap peanut butter taffy. Oh my gosh, I would trade whatever with my brothers to get that. Do, do. All right. That one can work. Boom. Save it right there. Really? Yeah, I love that stuff. I mean, I love taffy just in general. So the peanut butter taffy, I don't know. I just thought it was amazing. That and I loved Smarties because it was one piece of candy, but since it was made up of so many pieces of candy, it felt like you were having a lot of candy when you opened one little thing of Smarties. Those are awesome. And then there were some houses that would give you like, and granted they last forever because of what they are, the now and later, the little starburst shaped things that were hard as a rock and would last forever because they were a hard piece of candy, sort of, but soft. Reese's, feel like that's everybody's favorite. Those are super duper popular. People absolutely love those. You were right. They are a favorite of many. Oh my gosh, my nose is still sniffling from the sneeze fest. Whew. How did I get a cat hair on my cup here? I think I just pushed it down the side of the cup. There we go. Smarties are good if you just want sugar. Also good to have in your friends' coworkers. Ah, there you go. Now, when you guys were kids, you were all kids much later than I was. Did you still have bottle caps? Were those a thing? We're going away from Red. Wait, Redcliffe? Oh, I did put this in here. Okay, good. I was checking my notes, trying to make sure that I actually put this area in the area of Senna's Fall. But I don't have it marked on here because it's a sub feature of a place. Okay, good. I remember at some points when I was a kid too, we'd occasionally get Necco wafers. Not a lot of people had those at that point, but sometimes they would have like the little Laffy Taffy and stuff like that. Though the weirdest thing I think we used to get were those little boxes that had the Milk Duds in them. Because when I was little, you'd get a little thing of Milk Duds, and you'd get a bunch of them in there. And then later on, you get a box of Milk Duds, and there's like 2 or 3 in the box. Okay. Bottle cap, think you can still get them in a movie theater size box. Ah, okay, yep. Oh no, bottle caps were pretty awesome. They were pretty awesome in the time because depending on what flavor you like the best, if you like the root beer ones or if you like grape, you get through them. You're like, oh, I found the right kind. And then when I was at the heyday of my right around teenage years, what were they called? Free. They're kind of a little round candy that's really hard with an outer like shiny coat of candy, different colors and flavors. But then those were really good. I loved them because you get a whole stick of them or a whole thing of them for, a quarter or whatever. But then I got older and they improved on them. They made the chewy version of Smarties. Or not Smarties, chewy version of Spree, Chewy Spree. Oh my gosh, why did they do that to me? And they come in a bag. Curse you, Candy Industrial Complex. Sometimes you get lucky and there were 4 Milk Duds in the box. Yeah. I know Chewy Spree still exists. I don't know if normals do. I don't know. But since the I guess it was the early 2000s, before 2010, like 2006 onward, 2008 onward. I don't remember. I went to a place called World Market and I found some British candy. Most of it I just thought was awful. The chocolate was good. They have, puffy chocolate and stuff, which is fine. But they have these things called round trees fruit pastilles, and they're little discs that are like blackberry currant flavored and some other flavors with a little bit of sugar on top. So they're like kind of like a gumdrop candy, but not really a gumdrop candy. They're a little chewier and they're small like coins. Those are really good. I can still eat those. Man, now I kind of want Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy. Hello, Dave. Laffy Taffy for the jokes. Yeah, when I was younger, Laffy Taffy came in really big pieces, and they seem to have gotten smaller. There was another brand of it too that was really big, like really long, big pieces that were on kind of like what was it called? I think it was called County Fair, County Store. Man, what was it called? There were 3 type, or was it Neapolitan? I can't remember. They were basically a big long piece of taffy in a piece of paper, with a little backing. It was like a wax shaped thing. It was probably about this long and about this wide. So, but it was really thin. It was a long strip of taffy. I don't know if they still have those. And things called kits. And oh my gosh, what was the other one? And taffy and candy was a big thing to me in like the 80s and the 70s because we didn't get it very often. So when we got it, it was like, oh, I will remember this piece of candy forever. And I will try and preserve it for as long as I can. Like my little brother would have his Halloween candy in January still because he would parcel it out to himself. He would make sure to eat all the things that, obviously wouldn't last till January 1st. And then everything else, he'd just, very carefully parcel it out so he'd have it for a long time. All right, so this one is saved off. This is good. And where's my note on it? Because I did Red Clef and Clay Market. Because since we saw Happy doing some work on Godwin, the young man who is a priest scion of Senna, and has upset the local theocracy and the theocrats and all the people as part of the church that were kind of, making a lot of money off of their dead goddess. He's sort of kind of wandering around the Godlands right now. But these are some of the places he lived and did business when he was a young man who made pottery. Anyway, everything has gotten smaller. Oh, yeah, the big bar of Charleston Chews. Yep. Yeah, Airheads. I remember those. I just look at more of my friends. They're short around here. Wah, wah. Now and Laters. Yeah, they're great, but they would rip your fillings out if you weren't careful. Ugh. Never got candy on Halloween, just tricks, no treats. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. So sorry. It wasn't Marathon Bars. I think I was checking with somebody. Maybe I don't think it was Charleston Chews. There was another bar like that. There were the really long Charleston Chews, but we'd throw them in the freezer because then you could take them out and break them into pieces. There's a hooker joke in there somewhere. Maybe. Never wanted Airheads. We're just surrounded by Airheads. No, Dave, no. Like Totally Tubular. Or something like that. Boo. Yeah, most of the time I lived in relatively small towns when I was of the age of trick-or-treating. And at that point we had well, technically we didn't take my littlest brother out very often at the beginning because, well, he was too small. But the three of us who did go out, my two older brothers and me, there were in the closet of our little ranch home in the middle of this town, which was not very big at the time, in the coat closet on the top shelf, where we couldn't reach them very easily because I was small and my brothers weren't much taller, were the costumes. And they were in a cardboard box about, sheet of paper size, but they were, about this thick. And the front had an oval window cut out with a piece of cellophane so you could see into the costume, so you could see the mask. And it was a little outfit you put on and the mask. So it was just a simple thing you put on, like an overall or something that you'd tie around the back of your neck and put on. Really simplistic. Like one was a clown, one was I think it was an alien. I think there was another monster or something like that. But they were the kind of masks that had the little slit here for your mouth and it would conform. And you'd do that thing that they did on Venture Brothers where you stick your tongue in it and you try and breathe through the nose holes, which are too small, but you cut your tongue on the little hole and it would get sweaty and gross inside and you had to hope that the rubber band didn't break. Yeah. But my brothers would go do trick-or-treating. They would come home and wouldn't tell my mom, evidently. They would go grab another costume. They'd grab the other costume because they were down and they were out. They'd grab the other costume, put it on, and go back out and try and get more candy as a different kid. Sneaky. I like it. Well done, kids. If you're going to beg with style and with frequency. Wait, why did I just get that notification for a message? That was old. Sorry, I'm just making sure our build is all... all right, there we go. Let's see. Never had a feeling to worry about getting ripped out. Oh, I had bad teeth. Lots and lots of things. The thing is, we almost never got to eat candy when I was a kid, except around, like a Christmas or a Halloween or something. But teeth were just bad because they were. And the doctors and dentists loved giving fillings back in those days. Like, we're going to fill it. Wisconsin, you have to plan costumes around the cold and so. Oh, yeah. Well, at that point, we were doing that. And if we went out and my brothers didn't want, if it was raining or if it was super cold, we had to put a coat on. And my brothers would hate that because we're like, put a coat on, I don't look like an alien anymore when we're wearing a coat. So one year, my mom took out some of her 1970s style, the little things that were folded down about this big, and you just open it up, and it's basically a little plastic bonnet that you put over your hairdo if you were a woman in the 70s, so you didn't get it wet, and just tied under the chin. They made my brothers and I wear those over our heads, so our hoods and things didn't get wet. It was stupid. I had to make my own costume, but couldn't use scissors or a sewing machine. Well then! They did get that truck out, had to get a tow truck come from Nashville to get him out. Wow! Good thing that wasn't me driving that truck. No siree. I didn't flee for something. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So if I don't think I'm going to put this place in there. I think I'm going to save that for a different location. Yeah. All right. The area of Rimmermont that surrounds a great cenote is a popular place for villagers to stay and sample. Aim for a ceiling for the told to center the pool. Okay, I can word this better. Which surrounds... Oh, this the area! Ooh, I sound smart. Surrounds a great cenote. It's a popular place for villagers to stay. Let's see. Let's say surrounding. I'm changing the voice in the sentence again since I just did it. The destination surrounding the great cenote. Drawing visitors to stay and sample local bass as well as send 300 here. I think that's the word that was messing up my sentence. There we go. I deleted it. Sentence makes more sense. Okay, there we go. I'm giving you a plastic bag to put in your head. Basically, but it had a big hole in the center. So yeah. I don't think your mom really loved you. Nope. You're right. Hey, she didn't let us come inside during the summer most of the time. It was sun up, you're outside. Go do your chores. Or if you're going to play, go do it away from the house. From the time I was probably like 7 or 8 onward until I started going to probably middle school, maybe high school. It was pretty much just like, why are you in the house? We spent a lot of time fishing on the Mississippi. I love winter Halloween because you just put on winter clothes and said you had a costume underneath. Hey, there you go. That's cheating and genius. Yeah, I went as a vampire one year because it was supposed to be, you know, a cool thing. And my great aunt made me a cape because we were staying at her place. And my, I guess they were my third cousins. They decided to put the stuff on my face to make me look scary. They pretty much ended up making me look like I had skin issue because it was mostly kind of brown and black all of my face, but it was smeared weirdly. So it looked like I fell in a mud puddle. And that was me being a vampire. That was their best impression. They were a little younger, so I don't think they quite understood. Or they just thought it was funny to draw over my face with whatever it was they used. It was very itchy, though. Whatever they used, my skin didn't really like it much. The perfect vampire, exactly. But that was most Gen Xers. Well. All right, so if I go back to the map here. All right, so the White Watch is the garrison on the outskirts of Rivermont, home to the bulk of the defensive forces of the city and the surrounding areas. Maintained by paladins of the Order of the Chrysalis, they allow people from any walk of life to serve in the ranks of the White Watch. Stand as the last line of defense against anything that may turn its eye towards the lands around Senna's Fall. They pay particular attention to the activity in the eaves of the Whitewood, but they also patrol the Silver Road between Silverton to Vindonis. So, all the way up in Silverton, through Rivermount, past the Crucible, down to Vindonis. When you don't have air conditioning, it doesn't make sense to be inside. Here's another thing you're going to love. My stepfather definitely didn't care for us as kids because, well, I don't know. I think he just disliked us being around. And there were 5 of us. When it was summer, we lived in farmhouses usually. Yeah, there was no air conditioning. It was literally just, there was a heater for the winter. And air conditioning was windows. But, in the master bedroom that he and my mother shared, there was a window air conditioning unit. And they kept it cold in there. So we would sneak in there occasionally in the house. We'd be like, "Whoa, man, we're really warm. We should sneak inside real quick." And we'd sneak inside. We'd go in there and we'd just stand in the room just like, oh my God, the goosebumps are like popping up on our skin. We're like, it's too cold in here. We'd sneak back outside and then go jump in like a horse trough or go down to one of the rivers or lakes or something and go swimming. But yeah, that was fantastic for us. It was a little different there back in the 70s and 80s. Hey, one of the houses we lived in wasn't such an old farmhouse that it was settling in one corner. In my room, because I wanted a separate room when we moved to this place, the upstairs had 3 bedrooms. I think it had 3 bedrooms. And a walk-in closet, which was kind of a closet. But it was all just hardwood floors. And my 2 older brothers had 2 of the other rooms. My little brother complained so much that they gave him the other little room. And I was like, I'm not going to, because they're like, you 2 can be in this room. It's small, but you have a bunk bed. I was like, I'm not going to live in there with him. No way. I decided to take that closet. It was literally about 6.5 feet long by about 4 feet wide. And there was no There were hangers in there. I shouldn't say there weren't. There was no like shelves or anything. It was literally just a pole going from one end of the room to the other for hanging stuff on. And my mom and stepfather had clothes hanging in there, which is part of my room. And I just had a mattress on the floor from the bed, which filled up most of the room. But from where the door was here to the outside wall, there was a little tiny window in the room. The floor tilted like this because that corner of the house is settling. So if I set a marble down upstairs, it would just go rolling across the entire upstairs and go right into my room. It was fun. We had a lot of crickets in that house. You had to shake your pants out in the morning if you didn't. The crickets would hide in there for warmth, and you'd just be like, "Ah, crickets!" Not the joys of living in the country. Yeah, it was basically a closet. Yep. Shellfish bastards. Ha, shellfish. Windows for cool air and fireplace for heat. Yeah, in the winter, a lot of times I would sleep down next to the fireplace because somebody had to watch the fire during the night. That's what kept the house warm. And so I'd lay down there and just sleep on the floor, which is why I'm used to sleeping on a hard floor. Because I just bring a blanket, my pillow, and just flop on the floor and lay in front of the fireplace and be like, I'm comfy, I'm warm. And then if I started getting cold, I'm like, oh no, the fire's going down. I got to put more wood in it. So another reason I always smelled like wood smoke. Probably smelled like, the kids at school told me I smelled like sausage, which was fantastic. You know, you never get picked on when you're a kid and everybody's telling you smell like a smoked sausage. Totally normal. All right, criminals can serve out their sentences as a member of the White Watch. And okay. All right, so these guys, when they go from the Whitewood all the way up to Narrows Keep and all the way down to Eldwin. Okay. Well, say Villa Nocturna into the ruins of Eldwin itself. Okay. A month's service in one of these detachments can wipe years off one sentence, so it's an option taken by many a criminal looking to mitigate their incarceration. So if you're somewhere in this part of the world, if you've committed crimes that put you in jail for a while, you can say, I'll sign up for the White Watch for 2 months and wipe out my entire sentence. Like, okay, good luck. Have fun fighting the undead. Actual crickets or cave crickets? I get the cave camel. These are the black crickets. The ones that go squeak, squeak, squeak. That closet would go for about $2,000 as is in New York. Probably. Let's see. All right. Right. Okay, close that one. All right. The crickets. I don't even know what they're taxonomically or whatever you call it would be listed as. I think they're just house crickets, or is it field crickets? There's a difference, isn't there? I think there's a difference between house and field crickets. I don't remember. I'm not really sure what a cave cricket is, though. Are those the ones with little stripy lines on their legs? Now we need to add giant crickets in here. Because that would be kind of terrifying if they were really big, because crickets are... I think crickets are omnivorous. I think they'll eat anything. So I think they'd eat meat. Imagine a whole pile of, like, I don't know, Pomeranian-sized black crickets coming at you in a what do you call those? A swarm. Swarm, Dave. It's a swarm. Would love that sentence. Normal crickets. Yep. Cree, cree, cree. Hello, everyone. Common field cricket. Have you ever seen the tiny apartments in Japan? Oh, yeah. I have seen those and they're crazy. Mole crickets. What? They're the ones that don't chirp. They look terrifying. Great. Terrifying crickets. Just what we want. I want to make a note about giant cave crickets. Coming for ya. They love eating everything. Right, Clayton. Home to the richest and most varied clay deposits in the area, this town has become known far and wide for its production of all manner of both everyday and luxury pottery and ceramics. Clayton is also home to the rebirth of the active Church of Senna, the dead goddess the region is known for. Until now, their methods have been somber, pitiful, focusing on the loss of their goddess. The new movement is focusing on her transformative power. Is that right? Yeah, reveling in the beauty of her sacrifice brought to the world. Yeah, those are freaky looking, Chrysanth. Yep, they do have the little stripy things. Okay. Creepy little buggers. A plague of locusts. Mole crickets look like giant weird termites. Okay. Gross. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. Figurehead that has ignited the renewed debate is currently on the run from the former church leaders as a heretic. Godwin, the figurehead that has ignited the renewed debate, is currently on the run from the former church leaders as a heretic, but he wanders the land preaching her message regardless. His following is growing, which makes the church leaders nervous. Holy, I just looked them up and they actually look like moles and termites. What is the insect demon called? The demon made up of insects? That's a good question. I don't know. Small, weird looking things always creep me out. Oh, hi, Crescent. Wow, fantastic, sarcastic. You're living on the edge there, dude. Yeah, I don't... The demon... What is the demon? Beelzebub? Because AI is what I wanted. I really don't want AI. How do I turn this damn thing off when I make searches? DuckDuckGo even has AI now. It says the demon made up of insects is called an echolid. Okay, how do I... Often, on demand, never. Completely disabled search assist. Bam! Save. There we go. Yay, DuckDuckGo. Thank you for letting me turn that crap off. Dang, taking a lot of sass for someone with no wrench. Oh ho. Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking. I was like, wait a minute. Taking. I just heard pawing at the back door. Let me check. It could be Wolfie. I don't know. He was out there earlier and wanted in, and then I went to let him in, and he wandered off. I'll be right back. It won't be long unless I trip over the cat toy they left here. There we go. We can get the back door. All right. On my way back. It was Benjamin Button. Basically known as Benji to everybody. Or Benjamin Rutherford Hayes, depending on what I feel like calling him any given day. All right. Wrenches rise up. Wrenchless rise up, huh? We know the evil blue people. You don't ever exchange DMs about things. War of blue people aggression, you know, like northerners. Happy New Year's, everyone. Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Now my thesaurus. Oh, I closed my thesaurus page. That's why I can't find it. Oh. Oh my gosh. Whatever I did, all that sneezing and stuff, it finally has hit my nose. Oh my goodness. Hot sauce. I love you. Why'd you do this to me? 5786, so much better than 5784. How'd you lose all your XP? Haha, you've been robbed. Very nice. Wait, 5786. Is that the Jewish calendar? I also have no XP. Haha, I guess somebody somewhere pulled the plug on all the XP. You get no XP, and you get no XP. All right, Littleford. Okay, Littleford is there. This is foolishness. Well, pretend you have EXP. It's fine. I have 75. Look at that. I'm number 2. I have a whole 75. Okay, 5786 is Jewish calendar. Could say is New Year's. Okay, got it. That's what I thought. I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I was asleep for, I don't know, 5,000 or like 3,700 years, something like that. It's almost as old as I am. Wait, it's as old. Wait. Oh, yeah? Well, how do you explain the mole crickets with the big cricket mole bodies? Bet you never thought of that one. Creepy little things. At some point, I'm going to hear a... And Benji's going to come over here with, like, food all over his face and want to sit on my lap. And then demand that I pet him nonstop and not pay attention to what I'm doing, which I'll try not to do. All right. So we got Littleford. Trade post and village in 1, posting a massive market for all minutes. Let's say the majority. But numbers. They're better than numbers. They're numbers. I'm good. Creation of sin. Wait a minute. Corruption of that kind, much is holy. Created mosquitoes, mole crickets, and bundles of sticks. Oh, wait, that is cruel. You said it. You're cruel. You're a monster, Dave. Okay. Traders from Austin regularly purchase goods here for the markets in Fryland and beyond. So they come across because Austin's much bigger than Littleford. What else can we make as a claim to fame for Littleford here? Because it has the red waters on one side and it has the Great River on the other side. So it's on the banks of a great river, but it's also near the waters of that. I'm trying to think if there should be some portages. They'd have to be pretty big because I think this portage, if I overlay here, measuring from here to here, we're going to use map scale units. And we're going to go from here to there. That's 7 miles. That'd be quite a portage. That would be quite a portage. But let's see. Oops. I don't need capitals on there. Pain of portaging at YouTube. Okay. Canoe camping. How far is reasonable? Okay. What does it say? 10 to 12 kilometers a day. 2 kilometers of portages. Okay. Watercraft, cargo, or land. There's a 19-kilometer, 12-mile portage and the 14. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is going to have a portage here. Benji, did I just see you sneaking by over there? Black and white cat in a dark basement. Transports are good. Or in Lilst. All right, there we go. Okay. Don't be cruel. Monster Mash is the graveyard smash. East side, west side, water hostility like the Philadelphia cheesesteak debate. Is there a debate? Wait, do people in Philadelphia think they have the best cheesesteak? I'm pretty sure it's made by some dude down the street in some place I don't know of here in a gas station. Just to piss off anybody in Philadelphia. There is a place here that used to have, we used to have a really good sandwich shop. I can't even remember the name of it now, but it was just, they would make hot or cold subs and sandwiches and stuff, but they had this massive grill in the back and they would make an awesome cheesesteak. It was really good. They didn't use spray cheese or whatever. They used actual cheese because, well, you know, I'm in Wisconsin, so they used actual cheese, weirdly enough, and real butter and stuff. So, but they also make a chicken cheesesteak with mushrooms and hot red peppers and stuff. It was amazing. They didn't normally make it. I asked them to do that because they used to do the sport peppers and red peppers, whatever, on their giardiniera on something else. And I asked one of them to make me one with the peppers in it while they're cooking it. And the guy's like, "Sure, we can do that." And he did it afterwards. And he's like, I'm not gonna lie to you. We're cooking it up. He's like, you know, we scoop it all up and we keep it all together, but some of it gets off on the side. He's like, I reached down with the tongs and I picked up a piece and I tossed it in my mouth. And he's like, I think we're gonna add that to the menu as an option. And they didn't actually add it to the menu, but they did it. And every time I came in, he's like, "Hey, hot peppers." So, and then they closed. Just bam. One day we just went there for lunch and they're just gone. Probably a mob front. Who knows? Black mushrooms. Just you wait until the mushrooms rule the world. Then you won't have anything to say against them. Ish. Hey, Benji. I gave him a can of wet food because he wanted to come in and, you know, not hang out with the other cats while they were eating outside. And I bet, being the little dork that he is, he's going to try and eat that entire can by himself. And that means when I pick him up or he sits on my lap, he's sitting there and all of a sudden just going, he's not a big cat, but he packs it in and then just sits there and goes, and falls asleep. So he's probably going to come over and sit on my lap and just start doing the like that lady in the videos on the internet where her husband makes the noise and she's like can't help it. She actually does it every single time and she can't stop. So if she's running at him, mad at him, I think part of it's just a gag. A gag. But he'll just say something to her that will make her come at him and she's like, hey, and comes at him, he just goes, and she goes, ah. And then if she makes the noise, she does it to herself and makes herself make the noise too. Like, wow, that would be the worst hindrance in the world. If Erudia's here, don't make Crescent have that. It would be horrible. Fun guys are nice to hang around in moist places, but we know Nugget Smalls enjoys the bad guys. Gag, gag. The gag, gag. Yeah. All right, so what was I doing here? Oh, yeah, the Littleford. On the western edge of Senna's Fall, Littleford is a trade post and village in one, boasting a massive market for all manner of goods produced in the dells and valleys around the canyon. Traders from Austin regularly purchase goods here for the markets in Fryland and beyond. Humans are the majority here, though small folk and dwarves live here in great... Yeah, live here in great numbers as well. A major portage trail here between the Great River and the Lake of the Goddess. Merchants and traders either transport their own goods in small craft across the hilly land between, or enlist one of the many companies that make it their job to do so. So in this area, where we've got Littleford, there is a portage. I should probably move that little road too, because it's not going to connect there. It's going to go right to here. In fact, I'm going to do that. Let's go to paths. Let's go to this. We'll select this path. We're going to look at it and see what we've got. Okay, so that goes through Austin and there. We're gonna remove this. We're gonna make a new path here. We're making a new path, folks. It's gonna come down. Across. Gonna go right into there. It's gonna go past that. It's gonna come up here. And it's going to go right into Littleford, and it's going to connect right there. Boom. All right, so there we go. Let's save that. So, goes right past the little trading post, Mile Fort, all the way into Littleford, and then the little out jut here. It's, many miles of portages going across. Don't worry, Bap knows all about your poor life choices. All right, humans are the majority here, though small folk and dwarves live here in great numbers as well. I wonder if I should put something else about small folk. Trying to decide. I might want to change the name of this place, actually. I think I am going to change the name of this place. Let's see here. Symbols, regions, symbols, regions, labels. There's my labels. All right, labels. We're going to grab this one. We are going to go into it. I think we're going to change it to Little Port. It makes more sense to have it be a little port rather than a little ford. Because it's technically not a ford. It's a portage. We'll do that. Change the name there. All right. Fun fact, when I was young, we used to live in the country near a tiny little unincorporated town called Littleport that had a bar and a few houses, and that was about the extent of the place. And it had a little boat dock for the river, and we used to go there all the time. That's in fact where my brothers, when we would go to the bar with my mom and my stepfather, when they'd hang out there, they would bring their pet chicken, Ferdinand. They had a chicken. He had a long shoelace that they used for a little leash around his neck, just loosely tied to keep him. But he would follow him around anywhere. He would eat food. They'd let him come into the bar. It was weird. But when we grew up a little bit, that town became even less of a town. The bar closed and everybody moved away, and it became just some ruined buildings. And then eventually it completely went away. And when you go down there, there was just nothing. But I've heard they were trying to get the town back into existence at one point. I think. Wonder where Benji is. Maybe he laid down. Oh, it looks like maybe it's still. Oh, it's in Iowa. In the year 2000, it had a population of 26. After the Volga River flood of May 1999, the town was destroyed. Most residents moved away. Well, it was messed up way before that. In 1970, there were 97 people. It says in 1980, there were 106. Interesting. The town was laid out in 1857 by Dennis Quigley. Remained of little importance till the coming of the railroad in 1874. It was not officially incorporated until 1907. It had 3 general stores, a bank, a blacksmith shop, Catholic church built in 1909, torn down in 1990. I didn't think the church was even actually used when we were there. A German Lutheran church damaged by the May 1999 Volga River flood and later moved to higher ground. Somewhat later, it had 2 taverns. Ooh, it got another tavern. Now it says it's disincorporated in 2005. Well, when we were there, that still said unincorporated. So they probably couldn't afford the signs, right? Something like that. It's probably overrun by crickets anyway. Boom! We got Legend Seeker merch. Yes, you guys should go buy yourself a Legend Seeker mug. You too could drink things out of it. I'm not drinking out of it right now because I had what do you call it? Water with Tang in it earlier this morning. So, and yes, I left it sitting on my desk, and yes, it's got a little bit of dried Tang residue in the bottom, and yes, I need to go put it up in the dishwasher. We have a town where the population sign says 16. I've lived near a lot of unincorporated towns, and boy, they're a hoot. Some are at a crossroads, which is always fun. And that's the only reason they're still existing, because they're on a major road. All right, let's see. Anything else about Little Port? Major portage trail here between the Great River and the Lake of the Goddess, merchants and traders, blah, 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 blah. Let's do this. Oh, I just heard. Benji, what are you doing over there? You crawling into boxes? Okay, we'll say. You say upstream in a river? Did you say upriver? So basically what I'm saying is there's a little tiny village here. It's not really a village, it's unincorporated, which is a ferry and boat docks on this side that is operated by people that help people go across the river or up and down. And interestingly enough, they call it, it doesn't have a name, but they call it Little Ford. Think you can use both? Let's do it. Tang, the drink of astronauts. Yes. Tang. Benji. Buddy. What are you doing over there? He loves climbing into boxes and just sitting in them like a cat. But he doesn't care if the box is sitting at a precarious angle, if he has to move stuff off to get into it. He doesn't care. Benji, what you doing? Benji. He's crawling on something. Benji, I hear you over there. You making a nest? What are you doing? Come here, buddy. All right, now I gotta see what he's doing. I hope he's knocking something over. Hi. What? Yes. But yeah, don't mess around with that. That's my coffee maker. Come here. Come here. Come here. Buddy. Benji, come here. Come here. Come here, Chief. That's a label maker. Don't step on all the buttons. He's standing on my label maker. It's got like a keypad on it. Please don't set that off. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come visit. What are you doing? You're knocking. He's good at knocking everything over. All right, now that you've found your way through everything. Ah, buddy. Oh, your face is looking better. He gets a scratchy face in the summer. So his face is all sad looking right now because it's got little scratches and little bits of fur that are kind of low. But he's so much better looking than he was. You're good. You gonna sit on my lap? Okay, buddy. Hi, Mr. Crackle. He's got a gravelly roar of an engine. Ah, I've got a tail. I got your tail, buddy. Come here. What you doing? Yeah, you're rubbing your head on my desk. That's great. Thanks, buddy. I don't know if you guys can actually even hear him. He's kind of faint. Buddy. How you doing? Yeah, I can't pet you the whole time. Oh, you got burrs in your fur, buddy boy. Okay, could you lay down? Yeah, lay down. There you go. Okay. All right, I'm writing, buddy. You gotta lay down. Isn't he loud? He is super like. I've got my headphones on and I can hear him. It's even louder when you're in contact with him. He just sits there and goes. How you doing, buddy? Hi. I'm happy to see your nose is just little bits of pink now. It doesn't look so sore. Must be getting close to end of fall, beginning of the cooler months. All right, buddy. I'm going back. Should we write something about somebody named Benji? We add a Benji? What do you think? You want a Benji? Get a Benji in here. Let's see. What could we do? Maybe the guy who runs the ferry is named Benji. What do you think? Please don't move my mouse around. Buddy, could you lay down? He just doesn't want to stop. Come on. Sit. I know you need constant petting all the time. Constant petting. I'll type with I'll pet you with my left hand and pet and type with my, move the mouse and type with my right. Now I'm getting texts. And a lot of them. What's this? Oh, excellent. All right. So the ferry operator and owner. We're gonna call him Benjamin. What do we call him? Don't scratch your nose, buddy. Your nose is healing up. Don't hurt it. Your nose is healing up. You should be fine. You should be a happy boy. Don't hurt it. All right. Sorry, I'm making some plans. Benjamin. What is a good name for a Benjamin? Come here, buddy. Can I pick you up again? You're gonna get all freaked out. You're gonna get all annoyed if I pick you up. Because sometimes when I pick you up like a baby like this, you get so mad. But other times you absolutely love it. And I have to hold you really tight because then you just get so excited and you're like, ah. But then you start drooling, don't you? Don't you? You're gonna start drooling on me? You gonna start drooling on me? Don't do that. Don't drool. Like, I cannot control the drool, sir. Benjamin, what is your guy's last name gonna be? It has something to do with Crackle? Crackle? Crackle Snarf? Crackle Meow? Crackle Meow? No. I like the idea of it being Ackle, Crackle, Snackle, Backle. Something like that. How about we could just mix it with something else and call him, like, Crabapple? You want to be Benjamin Crabapple? What do you think? The funny thing is, under his chin here, he has one little tuft of black hair that comes down that looks like he has a goatee. Let's see, maybe... Oh. Hi. Benjamin Crabapple? What do you think? You want to be Benjamin? He just shook his head no. You don't want to be Crabapple. Benjamin... Hmm. We could go boring and give him his name based on what he does for a living and just call him Benjamin Ford. Onomatopoeia. If you can think of something, I don't know. I mean, I call him Benji, Benjamin Rutherford Hayes. I call him Benji. What other names do I give you? I call you other names when I'm doing your eating and stuff, and I pick on you by just saying weird names at you. You're occasionally your Benjamin Boop because you'll walk up and you'll boop me on the nose with your nose and then wander off for no apparent reason. You just walk up and go bonk. Just checking in. Give some alliteration. What you doing? What you doing, buddy? Character named after you who'd be one mythic membership, Mr. Benji Cat. Yeah, you're gonna have to put in the time here, buddy. The purrs are nice, but you're gonna have to pay a bit of cash. Boxer, Benjamin Boxer. That kind of could fit because he is helps people transport things. You want to be Benjamin Boxer? He's just making, he's so excited because I'm just petting him nonstop up and down his spine. He's making biscuits on my legs without his claws this time. All right, so I can't type with that hand. We'll do this. Do. Bum. What? What? Hello. Yes. Okay. You can't have both my hands. He reached up, literally grabbed my right hand with his paw. He grabbed it like this and then just looked at me. And now he's stretched out with his head on my hand and his paw on my armrest or the wrist rest. Buddy, I need one of my hands to type with. One of them. One of them, buddy. One of them. Keep the bees in the bras, huh? Sorry, I left. Had someone stop by to take care of some bees. Got another bee infestation at the house. Oh, really? Oh, that sucks. Hi. You're a very good boy. You're a very good boy. Yes, you're such a good cat. And I think it was you who brought me the snake the other morning. Well, half a snake. It was a demi-snake. It was the back end of the snake. Thank you for that. Though lately now all the birds or all the cats on the back patio in the afternoons are fascinated by the cardinal show because there's now cardinals returning. And so up in the pine and nut trees on the back porch or the back patio area are cardinals day and night, and they see the little birds are like watching them. Don't eat the cardinals, okay? Cardinals are luckily pretty smart and they stay up and away from you like the blue jays do. The little bird's not as wise. Little bird's not as wise. Yeah, Kitty sharing dinner. Outdoor cats killed a rabbit a few weeks ago. Oh, man. Where's the knee of a snake? I don't know. Do they have knees? Are there snake knees? Do you know, Benji? He's like, I don't know. I've never had one. They're all spines, sir. All right. Hi. What? Hello. Hello. You look so insistent that you want me to beep your nose. All right, so we're going to say he's known for his prominent little goatee, because this is what Benji has going on, a little goatee. So when Benji's face isn't so messed up from his allergies or whatever it causes him to, scratch his nose up in the summer, it looks like his face kind of looks like the Assassin's Creed symbol in white. You want to show everybody the Assassin's Creed symbol on your face, buddy? You want to? You can't really see it too well. I'll hold him up for a second. So he's kind of the Assassin's Creed cat. Sort of. You're kind of an assassin cat, aren't you? Aren't you, buddy? Oh my gosh, you're purring even louder. How did you get louder? I'm gonna go back down this way. Well, okay, choose a direction. Oh. I used to have headphones on. Thanks, Benji. I think you broke my headphones. Yeah, he did. I'm going to have to go hook my other headphones up. Oh, actually, maybe not. He did this before, too, and I had to reattach without pulling the wires out. Oh, good. It worked again. That is the third time you've done that, buddy. Because he doesn't care about distance or any... Oh, I put it on upside down. How about I put it in the right way? Oh, let's see if we can get it back out here. Benji, I know. You're very insistent upon doing things your way. And if I don't do things your way, it's not your way. All right. I think I got them back together, though. Now this wire seems like it's sticking out farther than I want it to. I'll just pull it down here. All right. For the time being, the wire will look... What does that wire look longer? Oh, I see. It's not stuck in its little groove anymore. Uh-huh. I just learned something about the construction of these headphones. There's a cool little hidden groove in here for hiding this wire. Neat. Benji, do you need to go back outside? All right, I'm gonna make sure my headphones still work here for a second. Let me turn on some musica. If it'll actually play something. Okay, they still work. All right, Benji, do you need to go outside? Is this you're telling me that I need to let you back out? All right, I'm gonna let him back out. I'll be right back. Come on, buddy. Let's get you into the wide outdoors. Let's go. You had enough of this civilized life, eh? Come on, buddy. Yep. All right. Now, unless I miscounted earlier, there are no cats down here with me. Pretty sure there's nobody sleeping over on the couch. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure nobody's sleeping down here right now. All right. My way or the highway, because I always go down, aka low. Can you believe Nozaku would time me out? Yeah. Wait. When did he time you out? Where did he time you out? What? Monsters coach the knee of a snake. Oh, really? I don't remember that. I guess I don't remember all the parts of that movie. Dang. Kind of a mod would do such a thing. I'm sleeping on the couch. You're sleeping on the couch. It was you all along. Okay, what's going on here? What is this doing? Oh, it worked. It was just lying to me. I can move this tab over here. So I got those two over the other. I don't need to know how long a typical portage is any longer. I can close that window. All right. A small unnamed village, sometimes referred to as Littleford, hosts a ferry and boat service to help cross into Fryland or to navigate the river up and downstream. Ferry operator and owner Benjamin Boxer is a small folk who owns a local tavern and brewery and is known for his prominent black goatee. Yeah. Kyle stream lunchtime on Kick. After everything I've said to people, I've never been timed out. I've been timed out several times, and Sunker still has me blocked in chat. Well, I Alt F4 Tabitha and didn't even get timed out. Come to Tug Stream, and I can change that. I have a feeling I need to get on some other people's streams and shows and stuff to get more out there, because I haven't been getting a whole lot of traction lately. After a little surge at one point on my YouTube channel. And I gotta say, I think it is because I don't have breasts. Sad for me. I've had to time out a lot of people in other streams the past few weeks. Oh, fun. It doesn't mean anything if I don't earn it. You gotta work for it. You gotta earn it. You gotta feel the burn. Hello, 40 Viking. A like it's hot. Well, thank you very much for doing that. And if any of you lovely folks haven't followed me over on my personal YouTube channel, please do so. It's free. It's super free. Tell your friends. Tell your wives. Tell everybody who has a YouTube channel or YouTube account. Hit the button. Hit the button. Well, yes, you have done that. Though we haven't been able to use Kick recently because it's been just acting stupid on here. So I use Kick on my own. I'm surprised Crescent hasn't timed me out for my hilarious puns. Yeah, that just gives you power. You gotta ignore the bullies. I'm waiting for Erudia to be distracted. Then I'll time you out. Oh. Okay, Crescent, let me tell you. I think Erudia is distracted. Oh, look, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. Erudia is going to come for me. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, never mind. He's distracted. See what I did there? It's all the crickets, right? Crescent is a bully. That's not quite how I meant that. Well, you take it however you want, sir. You do it. All right. Oh, it's the whole. I can listen to the whole album of this song. Oh, it doesn't have time. Oh, it does. It does have timestamps in it. Nice. I guess that's the last song. I'm putting something in Moonskull chat here. Where is it? Music. I'm going to put in the album I'm listening to right now in the music channel. So if you want to see what I'm listening to right now, you can go there. And it doesn't matter if you don't know Russian. It's got a good sound of their music. Especially if you like a guy who can roll his R's. He makes Russian sound very interesting. I like it. Waiting for Erudia to be attractive. Don't need to be dis. Don't need no dis. Roll the R's like we roll the barrels. Well, yeah, if you listen to that first song, Dosht, it's Especially when he's saying like drum. I think is like big. We missed the pirate. Oh yeah, I think we missed Talk Like a Pirate Day on September 19th. Arr! Oh yeah, I meant to, oh man. I think I'm a horrible person. I think I forgot to send my sister-in-law a happy birthday. Oops. I'm so busy at work. I forgot everything. All right, so High Spring is the next part we're looking at here. High Spring is down here. Small folk village to the south of Littleford, just across the river from Austenwold. High Spring is home to numerous artesian springs used by the locals in anything from health tonics to aged whiskeys. The people of High Spring are watched over by a thorn-shrouded magical tower that no one has been able to penetrate in living memory, as well as what appears to be an ancient teleportation gate carved into a large exposed slab of stone near the tower. By the locals. Frowned upon by the locals. And they treat visitors who meddle with the old places coldly. What do you call it? Not a mockery. It's not a mockery. It's a mirror. Shrine to Nya near the tower, or not the Arendor. Near the tower, and it features dark thorns wreathing a great dark thorn vines wreathing a great stone in a mirror of tower. The tower it is shadowed by. Okay, there we go. Well, happy on birthday to you. So if flying is a movement action, does bound or entangled reduce your movement to 0 so you can't fly? Bound or entangled reduce your movement to 0 so you can't fly. I mean, your movement is 0. You can't move up, you can't move down, you can't move anywhere, but it doesn't mean that you'd stop flying necessarily, depending on how it's written. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of funny. It's like you just sit there with your wand. Pew! Birds just like, you just stunning birds left and right with an entangle spell, and they're just like, ah! Yeah, it's weird because if you've got a magical creature that's one of its assets is flying, then if any spellcaster in the world could, just entangle or dispel the flying, then they would probably just have defenses or spells specially made to like ground the dragons and stuff and be just like, blurp! Goodbye! It would be weird. Let's see. I got 20 minutes left. Okay, good. I was like, wait a minute. I should make sure I have time here. If that worked, I'd have used it on night gaunts, but I think it's supposed to be on the ground. Well, you can technically target any creature directly if you're not doing an area of effect. Though, I mean, area of effect, if you do it on the ground, it technically is supposed to have a height limit too. But you can target an entangle on a creature. Doesn't matter where the creature is, as long as it's within your casting range. It's just, usually, I think they envisioned it being something comes from the ground or the walls or something and entangles it. So it's a little weird using it in midair, but they didn't specifically say this cannot be used to target a creature that is not on the ground. And the other thing is, like, could you do it to something that's kind of amorphous, like creature that's in mist form? Not really, probably easily, but maybe. Intangibility, magic will affect it, but magic is weird. Let's say magic is weird. And since you can't really target wings of creatures, it's weird. Maybe because it's because I was always the one in the air, so I didn't want to fall too. Entangled is a trapping if it's vines from ground. If it's entangled, magic hands grappling it. Fall damage sucks. Yeah, it can suck. It can suck. Well, the weird thing is too, in Savage Pathfinder, there are no reaction spells. So it doesn't matter how much time you have. You're just like, I'm falling. So there's no, you can't like dispel things. You can't, do anything. It's pretty much the system is more along the lines of like, you are lined up against your enemies and you stand there like redcoats, just waiting for the next hit. So there's no reaction stuff unless you have prepared a reaction by skipping your whole last turn and setting it up with a spell, which can be in that system. It can mean the difference between life and death sometimes. I guess unless you're unconscious in Savage Worlds. Yeah, if you're unconscious, you just fall. Plunk. That's how it works. Yeah, there's some fun things about Savage Pathfinder, and in Savage Worlds and all the Savage systems, but there's also some weirdness in a lot of the systems. Like, oh, okay. I literally did think that those mush puppies had an ability that not only could fatigue us, but would just damage us, everybody in the area, without any kind of a soak. I'm like, holy cow, we're in trouble. When I realized we could soak, I'm like, oh, phew. I mean, it doesn't matter if you critically fail to soak, but still. Oh, let's see. All right, so venturing near the tower I was talking about near High Spring, is frowned upon by the locals, and they treat visitors who meddle with the old places very coldly. I'll say quite coldly. There is a shrine to Erudia near the tower, so I'm getting down to the bottom of the hot sauce now. So, woo! Shrine to Erudia near the tower, and it features darkthorn vines wreathing a great stone. In a mirror of the tower, it is shadowed by. Okay. Got scared of that one? Yeah, well, damage is damage, right? Ed and I should be dead from last Thursday, but Erudia saved him. What crap, I might have complimented Erudia. Ah! What were you thinking? I thought it was an interesting fight. You turning into a dragon and attacking a big dragon and all this other stuff happening. A lot of weirdness coming together. I was very happy that I played my angry mob card. That worked out really well. Because we're facing a lot of dire bears. And we hadn't injured any of them. I think we'd shaken a couple. And there were 4 giants throwing rocks at us and trying to kill us. 4. Plus all the bears. And 2 of our characters were not there because they were in a different area, so they were using NPCs. 1 character wasn't there because the player had his character get drunk, so he was playing an NPC. And Dave's character, Ed, and I was fighting a dragon in a different scene, so he had to play an NPC. So 4 of our characters from the group were not on the scene. We were playing NPCs, and one of those NPCs was a priest of the town who, we kid you not, his gear was 1 single ninja throwing star. We're like, oh, that's not a very well-equipped NPC. And I used an angry mob card, and it brought in a mob that was, I think, 2 people for each PC. So it ended up being like 8 to 10 soldiers charged into the scene. And they, for whatever reason, some of them rode really well. They just mopped up the bears. It was great. I found my character that rolls horribly. Thanks, Fizzle. Hey, it works. Fizzle. Your rolls are fizzling. Killed 1 dog, keeps getting her ass handed to her. Yep. Why does the priest have a ninja throwing star? I believe that he's secretly a ninja, and he's pretending to be a priest. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, man. I think the weirdest thing is he's a priest of Desna or Pharasma. I don't know. This is why I don't like a lot of adventures. Whoever sets them up doesn't always make a lot of sense what they do and how they set up NPCs. It's just like, oh, well, he's going to have one of these. You're like, why? Why would he have that? And then they don't put it on the character sheets. So sometimes Erudia can't even see it because they didn't equip it for the characters when they put the module in. They're like, oh, this whole time he should have been using a +2 sword, but it was just sitting in his inventory, not equipped, because they never bothered when they set it up. Like, oh no. Or their armor isn't equipped, or their powers aren't listed right. It's just great. He does roll really good against himself. That is true. Yeah, I'm working on stuff for the October/Halloween one-shot that I'm doing for Moonskull. And it's fun because the system I'm using, and we haven't announced it yet, but the system I'm using, it's not something you can min-max. It's going to be intriguing for people to play, I think. I mean, you could try and min-max your words, because there's a lot of aspects and things that you have to deal with, but I'm sure the module creator had an idea, just forgot to write it down. Probably. And or didn't translate into the adventure in the system because they didn't have something marked right in the markup. Who knows? It's got to be quite a job getting that stuff all set up properly. You hate mid-max? Mid-max! I mean, everybody who's ever played has probably gone through a min-max phase. Like, I'm totally going to make the coolest ranger ever. Highest stats, this never. And it's like, I'm the best. But after a while, you play role-playing games long enough, you're like, oh, well, that's not really the most fun thing to do. Though I do have a friend who does nothing but make characters all the time. And he still does do some min-maxing, but he also does, like, optimal this and that, and like 4 classes together. And he just really enjoys it. He loves it. Half the time when I level up a character, I'm like, let's see, what would fit my character's theme? Ooh, I'm going to take this. And people are just like, you're taking what? Like, oh, I'm taking this for feet, or I'm going to increase this. And they're like, why? You could do this and you could get a +2 to your spellcasting or this and that. And I'm like, yep. But I'm doing this. I just have more fun doing it. Because it fits the character and it furthers the character's processes and the way they do things. That's me, though. I do weird things. I mean, I took fame for Godwin, and it hasn't factored in at all yet. Well, actually, it might have factored in one persuasion roll. But it's fine. It's because he's known for... They're starting to realize that he's interesting, distinct, different, something. Whether or not he wants it. I like things that are double-edged. All right, residual magic from the God Killer breath used on Santa has seeped into the earth, rock, and water of the Vale in places, infusing various materials and wildlife with unusual properties. All right, we're going to change this one to heading 5. Dwarves of the area particularly adept at the keeping of underground... What would it be? Would you call it... I'm trying to decide how I want to phrase this. The keeping of the underground firefly bees native to the area. I'm trying to think if I should say husbandry. But, I mean, it's kind of not really just husbandry. It's actually, you know, beekeeping. Underground firefly bees native to the area. I think I'm going to keep it at keeping. Let's see. Min-max. Not going to say that I guess, but I guess. Look, took a timid hindrance as a cosmic horror campaign. I don't think I'm a min-maxer. Later, Dave. Have a good time. You have a good time as well. I get to play my game with my in real life friends in about 8 minutes. We're playing actually tonight, including my friend who has his arm completely lashed to his body because of his shoulder surgery. He's going to give it a shot. He's going to see if he can sit at the computer and play. All right. Rich honey from these bees is mainly used in the production of meads and similar products. I don't need to say mainly. Don't need an adjective in there or an adverb. Certain hives harvest their nectar from honey pots, particular fungal growth that have sap reservoirs in their tops. The firefly bees are symbiotes with these fungi and don't get trapped. Instead, they create a particularly valuable type of honey that's waxy and opaque with the fungal secretions they gather. Firefly bee honey. We'll call this fungal honey because this is the ones who harvest their nectar from the honey pot. The weird honey pot fungus. God killer honey. All right, we'll put that there. I'm just organizing these entries a little better. All right, God killer. So firefly bee honey. The dwarves of the area particularly adept at keeping the cave or keeping of underground firefly bees native to the areas. A rich honey from these bees used production of meads and similar products by the dwarves. So the fungal honey is more like what we were talking about recently, the manuka honey, the kind of cloudier honey from very specific creatures or very specific bees that get it from the manuka trees. speaking of that, because my throat was bothering me from the cat hairs or whatever I got in it recently, I bought some more of these before I've got these Weatherspoon, these Manuka honey drops. They're basically like, if you've ever had a ginger chew, they're like a little ginger chew that's kind of pretty hard, but has a softer outer side. And they're Manuka honey, ginger, and like cane sugar, basically. I don't think they have many other ingredients. What does it say? Cane sugar, Manuka honey, brown rice syrup, and ginger and echinacea. And they do the trick. They really help if you have something bothering your throat. And they taste awesome if you like ginger and honey. Let's see. God Killer Honey, Firefly Bee Heads. We'll have to look at the style guide. I don't remember if we put a style guide together for the God Killer, if we're using the dash or if we're not. Bees and them have become aggressive, territorial, and lethal. Harvesting their honey is only done after such a hive has been killed off. This God Killer honey is worth more than its weight in precious metal and is rumored to be one of the ingredients of the fabled nuggets of Nya. Out of place amongst the timber and clay brick structures the humans and small folks of Senna's Fall are the squat but imposing dwarven defensive towers in the Vale. Primarily for defense. Oh, I should look at the time here. Oh, I've got 2.5 minutes. Almost 3 minutes. Okay, squat but imposing dwarven defensive towers in the Vale. Primarily defense, easy to position over an entrance to caverns and mines in the area, allowing access to not only escape tunnels but work as well. Hexagonal, made of dark stone quarried in the Rhinewall Mountains far to the north. And so hexagonal, made of dark stone quarried in the Rhinewall Mountains far to the north, with thick walls and small windows. They stand out starkly in contrast to the homey buildings of the Vale folk. So these little, from top down, these little hexagonal dwarven towers look very different from all the buildings that are near them. All right, I'm going to save that. All right, since I've only got 1.5 minutes left, I'm going to kill the music here. And I'm going to say thank you all for coming on by, as usual. Tell your friends. Tell them to come on by. Give us a follow here if you haven't. Give us a like. Throw some comments out there. Give me some follows over on my YouTube and Kick and Twitch and all those places. And on X. And I'm going to be back doing this again on Thursday for more fun. And maybe we'll talk about Halloween candy again. Or maybe we'll talk about, I don't know, something weird. We'll talk about something weird. I'm sure we will. That's what we do. But I'm going to get the heck out of here. Thank you all for coming along and putting up with my craziness. And I'm glad y'all got to see and hear Benji. His little crackly gravel purr. Later, Cajun Corey. Later, Crescent. Later, I know Dave left. 40 Viking. Fantastic. Let's see. Who else was in here? I thought Shadow Warden was in here at some point. Was he? I don't remember. A lot of chat, which is awesome. Zerator 1. If I'm missing everybody, I'm sorry, because there's so much chats. So many chats. Well, thank you all for coming along, regardless. And I'm going to get the heck out of here. I'm going to talk to you all later. I'm going to go play some D&D. Have a good night.